Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the highly anticipated Public Officers Subsidized Housing Random Draw, or PUSH Random Draw. I'm Davia Chambers. Let me take this time to humbly apologize for our late start, but we thank you so much for your patience. So joining us in studio here at the Hochoy Charles Administrative Complex, we have the Chief Secretary, Honorable Fali Augustine. We have Acting Chief Administrator, Mr. Carl Murray. We have the Director of Land Management, Sharice Wallace. We have Land Manager, Kim Chapman, along with members of the PUSH Committee. So without further ado, I'll invite Chief Secretary, Honorable Augustine, to share some insight on the PUSH initiative.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chambers. Good afternoon, Tobago, and thank you for your patience. We have been wanting to have this program for quite a long while because it's important that we find solutions to Tobago's housing crisis. Not so long ago, I did some analysis on what it requires to own a home in Tobago. On average, the average home price is around $1.5 million. To qualify for a mortgage of $1.5 million, one must have a salary, either by oneself or combined with a partner, of approximately $20,000 to $25,000. When we look at the average salary for Tobagonians, most Tobagonians will perhaps never qualify for a mortgage at that price. More than that, that's for a mortgage for 30 years. And for many of our public officers, you may not even have 20 years remaining to work to be able to self-actualize insofar as home ownership. In that regard, we devised a program that will assist members of the public service, those who are on the establishment, and those who are contracted officers of the THA, to be able to own a piece of land. At the end of the day, these estates that we hold as a Tobago House of Assembly, as a body corporate, we are actually holding in trust for you. And so this is just another opportunity through which we can provide you with some access. Now, these are lands that we are going to provide, and we are going to do a draw for 90 individuals this morning. All of you will have access to lands at Corland. Currently, we have started the survey works for those lands, and post the draw, I will indicate what the next steps would be for you. Allow me to also indicate to you that in this draw, we are going to do it based on categories. So we have divided the applications into 4, because you have applied. In fact, 662 public officers applied, and the 4 categories are: we are going to do 35 lots for persons employed within the public service for 16 plus years. We are going to do 25 lots for persons employed 11 to 15 years. We are going to do 20 lots for persons employed 6 to 10 years. And we are going to do 10 lots for persons employed 0 to 5 years. So everyone will get a chance. It's fair, it's random. Somebody did this computer system from IT. I don't know how it works, except that the computer will randomly select from among the applicants that we have. Once the draw is completed, I will share with you what the next steps would be. At the end of the day, the Tobago House of Assembly wishes to provide multiple avenues through which you can actually own a home. That's important to us. And yes, we have the division of settlements, and in that division of settlements, we are asking them to let their mandate focus primarily on low-income housing and those who really will not qualify. For these lots, you will be able to purchase these lots for a little over $70,000, which means that you don't even need a collateralized loan to be able to own this piece of land. You don't need to put down collateral. This is a small loan. I mean, people taking bigger loans than this to keep harvest. You might as well take this to buy a piece of land, and you have something that you can pass on to the future generation, to your children and your children's children. So it's easy for you to be able to afford it. Even someone who is on the daily rated cadre, meaning you're doing a little morning walk, and your salary is just over $4,000 per month, you can qualify for a loan to be able to purchase these lands. So we have made it super simple, super easy for you to be able to afford these lands. This, of course, is the pilot, and after the draw, I will tell you what the next phases would be. So if by chance your name was not called in this random draw, don't lose hope, because we'll be moving aggressively to ensure that you can own a home, or at least own a piece of land, and thereafter start building for the future. And through programs like this, the Tobago House of Assembly is actually doing something about the market prices for land, because we are using public policy to help drive the market prices downwards so that more Tobagonians can actually afford. I don't know anywhere on the open market where lands are actually for sale, at least one lot of land for sale for under $100,000. That does not exist anywhere on the island of Tobago except through POSH, which is Public Officers Subsidized Housing. So at this time, I want us to get to the draw. So the technician is going to select from the list of applicants, and we are first going to draw for applicants 16 plus years, meaning you're in the public service for a long, long time. So let's do 35 lots for those 16 plus years in the public service. So let's go. So we have Sonia Melville Mitchell, first person. Tamara Paulson Asemembo, sorry if I butchered your surname. Karen Gray, third person. Diana Charles, the fourth. Stacey Washington, fifth. Keisha Cordis Gardner, sixth. Wayne Melville, the seventh. Akko George, the eighth. Keel Martin, the ninth. Denise Winchester, 10th. Eltisha Junie Adams Charles, the 11th. Kathleen Nancis, the 12th. Cyan Quash, that's the 12th, I believe. The 13th, sorry. Bevan Howard, that's the 14th. Nadine Ford, 15th. Lee Rowley, the 16th. Soma Nisha Bishnath Tiplal, and this is what, the 17th? 17th. Marissa Job Grant, 18th. Natasha Brown, 19th. Lincoln Nelson, 20th. Callis Boyce, the 21st winner. Josan Caruth at 22. Shelley Irvin, or Irvine, however you pronounce it, at 23. Jamie Hamilton, 24. Devon Allen, 25. Kurt Chapman, 26. Alex Joseph, 27. Andy Rajman, 28. Akila Charles, 29. Nandia Jones, 30. Carissa Craig, 31. Chanel Joe Field, 32. Dion Beard, 33. Janelle Jacob Turpin, that's 34. And the final one in this category, Marlon Armstrong at 35. So there goes the 35 lots for those 16 plus years in the public service. Some are on contract, some are on the establishment. We are going to do those 11 to 15 years, and we are going to pick 25 lots at this time. Oh, right, so Keishel Murray is number 1 in this category. Kima Forbes, number 2 in this category. Roxanne O'Brien Glasgow, that's number 3 in this category. Number 4, Makeel Frank. Number 5, Javon Murphy. Number 6, Shakila Celestine. Number 7, Chanel Nicholson. Number 8, Devon Dillon. Number 9, Antonio George. Number 10, Nisha David. Number 11, Linnell Abraham James. Number 12, Mariska Thomas. 13, Darwin Melville Westfield. 14, Shanice Sylvan. 15, Crystal Orr. 16, Nyosha Hazel. 17, Nicole Phillip. 18, Rion Lyons. 19, Marissa Stewart. 20, Davia Chambers. So you get to see her name live, Davia. What are the odds? 21, John Ornella. 22, Jean Joseph. 23, Nikki Wilson. 24, Chanel Toppin Golston. And the final one in this category is Curtley Ferguson. The next category, for those in the public service, 6 to 10 years, we'll be drawing 20 lots. So let's go. First, we have Avril Rajman. At number 2, we have Melissa Caesar. 3, we have Kalita Phillip. 4, we have Kizzy Wilson. 5, we have Shalise Smith. 6, we have Avenel Jack. 7th, we have Daniel Hills. 8, we have Risha Gardner. 9th, we have Aisha Collins. 10th, we have Jamilia John Arthur. 11, we have Sarah Osman. 12, we have Kevin Pascal. 13, we have Leandro Jack. 14, we have Maritz Yearwood Joseph. 15, we have Isaiah Obadiah Habakkuk Jackson. Full biblical there. What number is this now? 16, we have Elsa Davidson. 17, we have Keelan Charles. 18th, we have Khadija Sukdio. 19, we have Xenia Alexis. And 20, we have Brittany Broom. And the final category for those 0 to 5 years, meaning if you started working 1 day in the THA, you qualify to apply. So, number 1, we have Ornella Samuel Richards. 2, we have Janelle Cox. 3, we have Janine Clement. 4, we have Keisha Stevens. 5, we have Volton Brathwaite. 6, we have Shanice Winchester. 7th, we have Kershel Gardner. 8th, we have Giselle Garcia. 9th, we have Alicia Ferguson Mills. The final person, Alana Tobias. So number 10 is Alana Tobias. So there goes the 90 names. And of course, they are going to print the full list, for which we'll have it certified. The chief administrator is here to certify. And this ensure nobody else squeezing in any name behind closed doors. What is drawn is drawn. So what are the next steps, Tobago? First, your name being selected, you will receive an email from us officially notifying you of same. Secondly, you will go through another layer of screening, because one of the qualifying requirements for this draw is that you cannot be in possession of lands. So please, we don't want you to be greedy. If you have land in your name, this is not for you. This is for the people who do not own any lands at this time. And so we will do the title search to ensure that all individuals who are so qualified, and I hope the camera is picking up the chief administrator who is reviewing the list fresh from the printer. It's important to note that surveys have already started. So we have already started surveying the lands, because of course the lands have to be subdivided. And so the surveys are happening as we speak. At the end of the process, everyone can expect a deed of lease for the parcel to which you are assigned, and that's at the completion of the survey. You can expect a deed of lease for that parcel. Please bear in mind that at the start of the new fiscal, we want to do the infrastructure works, and that's the roads, lights, water. The fiscal year starts in October, but once your name is drawn, you should start putting down those coins. And I can tell you that in order for you to do a long-term mortgage, there are several things that you must pay attention to. But before we get to that, you should be happy to know that there are actual subsidies available for first-time landowners. That has not changed as yet, so everyone here should be a first-time landowner. Well, at least be a first-time landowner, unless you had owned a parcel in the past and you sold it, right? But once you are first-time landowner, you will qualify for the subsidies that were passed some time ago in the appropriation bill before the Parliament. Ensure you are able to get your 10% down payment to pay for the parcel of land. your stamp duties, your lease registration, your commissioner fees, and other fees. So begin to put those in place so that you can own. In fact, once you get that email, you should go to your bank, and your bankers will guide you as to what the next steps will be and what will be the requirements for that particular financial or lending institution. If you talk to me off camera, I could recommend some financial institutions to you that will probably go easy on requirements and make sure you get through, right? But I can't say that on air. It will upset some in the banking industry. Once you have the land, you can always proceed to have a larger mortgage, a long-term mortgage to build a home on your home on the land. Or you can do traditionally like what most Tobagonians do. You own the land, and every month you buy some bricks, you buy some cement, and you bring out uncle and daddy and brothers, and you build piece. House never finish, we say in Tobago. So you build until you're comfortable enough to move in and probably get out of the rental situation. The point is, we want you to own a piece of this 116 square miles. And we have a mandate to ensure that we find avenues for Tobagonians far and wide, Tobagonians who work here, who live here, who work tirelessly in building up our society, that you can own a piece of this paradise. And that's why we did this draw during our public service week, because it's all part of us expressing gratitude to all of you who work so hard, day in, day out. You come to work, you push the papers, you get the work done, and sometimes you feel as though your job is a thankless job. I hope that for many of you, at least 90 of you, you have an extremely gratifying lunch. I'm sure this is the best lunch you have ever had, for the 90 of you who are still on your lunch break. For others who feel disappointed, this is just the start of the thing. We will have a lot more draws like this before the end of the year. And we are looking at mixed options. We're looking at land. We are looking at built options. And so you will hear of the next and the next and the next. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty confident that by the time we get in the month of July, you will hear where the next location will be. We will also be trying our very best not to make lands only available in the urban parts of Tobago. We want everybody to leave country and come downtown to live. In fact, country life is nice. I could tell you about it. It's superior to where I'm living now. So I'm just saying to you that we are going to provide the land options around the entire island. So you can, in fact, look forward to that as well. And as I bring this to a close, allow me to perhaps close by sharing intimately part of my own story. I remember sometime in 2020 into 2021, at the time I was a minority assemblyman, and I remember being ridiculed for living downstairs my father's house. But I understand where you're at, because living downstairs my father's house was not a choice. I had no other choices. At that time, I was an educator on contracted teacher at Speyside High School. And when I look at the salary, that could not qualify me for a mortgage for a home. I just explained what it takes to have a mortgage to purchase a home at the median price of $1.3 to $1.5 million. And so the next best option was to save and build out the downstairs of my parents' old home and live there and hope for the next best thing. I feel privileged because you Tobagonians placed me in an office where now I can actually get a long-term mortgage and qualify for a long-term mortgage, and something I could not do before, certainly not on my own salary. And so being in this privileged position that you have placed me in, I felt it absolutely necessary for me to drive a program to help so many of you who are still in a place where I once was up until 2021. It's important that whenever we are called to serve at this level, that we don't forget where we once were, and we don't forget the people who are still at the place where we once were. And so through this PUSH program, I want as many Tobagonians as possible to live a posh lifestyle, a home that you could call your own, that you could be proud of. Homes provide security. Homes provide safety for children. It's a better environment for children to learn in, to be educated in, so that children can be proud to come home and know that there is a roof over their heads, and there is lights on and water and internet, and there is food in the pantry. That's what I want for every Tobagonian. And so this is a very personal project for me to ensure that none of you, as far as possible, will be ridiculed for circumstances for which you have no control over. You don't set your own salaries. It's not your fault that you don't have a living wage. And so, notwithstanding the fact that the THA has no control over the CPO, we don't determine what your salaries are, certainly on the establishment. But through our policy and policies like PUSH, we can make lands and home ownership much more accessible to more of you Tobagonians. And so I want to thank you. Look forward to many more PUSH drawings, because we are going to move aggressively with this program here at the Office of the Chief Secretary. This was the pilot. This was about getting our feet wet and understanding the process and what it takes. Now that we know what it takes to get to this point, we will be accelerating the program. Special thanks to those who led the committee. There was a committee led by Ms. Chapman from Land Management, Kim Chapman, and included others like Mr. Martin, Kemba. We had Mr. George from the State Lands Committee. We have Mr. Peters from OVAD Planning. We have Fernandez, Ms. Fernandez as well, also on that committee. Thank you, Director at Land Management, Ms. Wallace, for facilitating. Thank you, Chief Administrator. And I could tell you, the public officers here gave no pushback for this policy whatsoever. I wonder why. Maybe because it positively impacts their life. But once again, I want to say thank you. Special thanks to all our public officers. Enjoy this week of activities, but remember that your island government supports you in the public service, and we are here to work along with you. Thank you, and God's richest blessings.